You know, in intervention, they tell you that you're hurting somebody who loves you. And divine intervention is no different. Yeah, the moment is now.
My name's Derek. I'm 19 years old. I've been going to Aloma for about 13 years now. When I was about 7 years old, my mom led me to Christ. When I switched schools, you know, I really started to pick up some of the things that other kids were doing and began to hang out with the wrong crowd. I was exposed to a lot of things that a kid at age shouldn't be exposed to. When I got into middle school, my lifestyle just continued to be rebellious. I was really a deceitful kid, hateful, and so once again that just continued to snowball as it went on into high school. At one point, I pretty much quit talking to my parents for about 2 weeks straight, and it was so bad to the point where my dad pulled me aside one night and told me that, you know, the way I've been acting was made my mom cry herself to sleep at night. But, you know, I just brushed it off, and I was just so numb to, you know, how anyone else was feeling. I only cared about myself. In my sophomore year, one of my best friends I had known for about 8 or 9 years hung himself. He committed suicide. From that point forward, I hated God. I wanted nothing to do with him. I'd come into Sunday school, line up a row of chairs, and I would just make myself a bed and fall asleep. Any kind of message that was being preached, I was just numb to it all. Going into my junior year, I started to party, you know, I started smoking marijuana and trying drugs and whatnot. Everything I did was just built around pleasure. And so, you know, I thought life was good, but in reality, it wasn't, because everything I would always reach for, you know, I would get it. You know, you'd want something else, so you just keep climbing and climbing. So it's never-ending ladder. If it wasn't for that scholarship that was taken up, then, you know, I could still be doing what I was doing there. So summer came around, and people were asking me if I wanted to go to church camp. And the year previous, I went, and before camp even taken place that time, I made the decision that, you know, I'm not going to listen to what God is going to try and tell me at this camp. Everyone who asked me, I just told them, you know, nah, you know, it wasn't really my thing last year, so I don't think I'm going to go. And it was actually about a week or two before camp was getting ready to start that just randomly I decided that I was going to go. When I got to camp, God just started to, you know, he just tugged at my heart, and he just eventually got to me and just broke me down. As I was walking up to the stage just to kneel down and rededicate my life to Jesus, if someone's foot was sticking out, I didn't notice it, and so I tripped, and I ended up falling down. Here I am, you know, not only broken spiritually with God, emotionally, I'm here crying. Not only those two, but I'm also here, you know, physically, you know, at my knees, in just complete submission to God. God has made me into a new person now. He even says, Galatians 2:20, my old self has been crucified with Christ. No longer I who live, but Christ lives in me. So I live in this earthly body by trusting in the Son of God, who loved me and gave himself for me.